Hi guys, I am back to filming and I really want to take my channel in a new direction. I love filming tutorials, but I really want to be more like eco-friendly. I want to do something called Be Your Own Cosmetic Chemist, where you can just mix products that you already have. And I just think it's so unrealistic to own 50 blushes, 50 eyeshadow palettes. I do because I personally love collecting them and creating looks with them, but I think too, like the average person, it's just like crazy to own that much makeup when you can just mix together what you already have to make a perfect blush, the perfect foundation. And so I want to incorporate that in my channel in the future. But today I am filming a tutorial using a discontinued palette. I own a lot of discontinued products, but I want to use them still because I think they're great and I bought them. And I feel like in the makeup industry, we're always like, oh, it's discontinued, we're done talking about it. But the discontinued palette I'm going to be using is Tartelette Tarte Juicy Palette. And it comes with a huge mirror, but these are all the perfect shades. And this is the perfect palette for summer, spring, a neutral eye looks. I just love this palette. And so I saw this in my collection, and plus someone asked for a tutorial using this. They do have the miniature palette of the big palette. Like they first came out with this one and they created a mini one that is still available. But if you don't own this palette and you don't own the mini one, just use what you got. So if you have the Too Faced Sunset Stripped palette, there's plenty of pink neutrals in here that match that palette. If you have the Too Faced Born This Way, you can do the same thing. There's some neutrals and pinks in there. Even if you only have like ColourPop That's Taupe palette, you can still use shades like this to create the look I'm gonna create. And the Bare Necessities palette by ColourPop. I mean, if you own a really good palette like this with all these shades, you can really create the same look. It's all about the technique, but I do love the Tarte Juicy palette. I have a couple tutorials using this palette and it's discontinued and I'm still going to use it because I purchased it and it's a really great palette and it's perfect for the spring summer season. So we're just going to jump right into the tutorial. So lately I've been liking less dramatic looks. I will always create dramatic looks on my channel, but today's video is going to be a more neutral, natural, everyday look. And that's really kind of the direction I take my everyday makeup. So I really like pinks and I like a eyeshadow wing. I don't like the dark black eyeliner wings. I don't know. I've just like grown out of that. And for my wedding, I didn't even have a wing. She was gonna put a wing on me and I was like, I don't know. So I'm just gonna jump right into the tutorial, but it's gonna be a very natural smoked out eyeshadow wing look. So in this beautiful palette, I see plenty transition shades, but I'm gonna go in with like a pinker transition shade. So I'm gonna go in with this shade Blossom. And it's just like a really pale pink. I hope it shows up. And I'm gonna use a ColourPop E15 blending brush. So I love affordable brushes. The ColourPop brushes are amazing. You can get them at Ulta or the website. The Morphe Jaclyn Hill brushes are also really good. Any kind of basic Morphe brush is really good. The Ariel Morphe brushes are ride or die. Love these. And Sigma has really good brushes too. So those are going to be the brushes I'm using for this look. So I loaded up my E15 by ColourPop. I'm going to tap off the excess because you don't want to go in with a super loaded brush. I'm going to blend this right into my crease and it is showing up. Oh my gosh, it's showing up like a baby pink. Do you see that? It's nothing like super crazy. I don't know if the lighting is really like... So going back in with Blossom and just creating this very pale crease. I don't like a lot of crazy pink in my everyday eye looks because it can make you look sick. I'm sorry if you hear that whining in the background. That's my German Shepherd Husky and she will do this thing where she will just sit there and like whine. It's very annoying. But I'm filming and she wants to play. I already played with her. Okay, so blending out Blossom, just creating this subtle baby pink crease. Just going to be the beginning of the transition shades using circular motions, windshield wiper. This one can go up pretty high. It doesn't have to stay low. 'Cause the first transition shade I go in with is usually, I had some like dirt on my lip the whole time, hopefully not. It's like wiped off my foundation doing that. Well, that's okay. So just like a subtle pink crease. All right, so next I'm just gonna take the Sigma E40, which is like another fluffy blending brush. I'm gonna take a browner shade. I'm gonna take the shade Fresh Start. If I remember correctly, this Fresh Start shade comes off a little orange. I don't really want that, so tapping off the excess, then blending that into my crease. My dog is dramatic. Okay, just like that, just kind of keeping it low and blending it. Just like that. So I just want like a pink, warm, fluffy, natural crease. Like that. Next, I'm gonna take this ColourPop E21 brush. I don't know why my lighting is like Petal. Petal is this deeper pink shade. So pretty. Petal reminds me, since we have other eyeshadow palettes and people aren't going to be using that palette, Petal reminds me of Warm Rose and the Too Faced Born This Way. And Petal reminds me of Golden Hour and the Sunset Striped palette. And there's a few shades in the like All For You, you know, you can find shades just like it in your other palettes. So Petal is just a deeper pink shade, and I'm gonna blend this just in my outer V like that, keeping it low along the lash line and just bringing it up here into my crease. And I'm gonna do the other side. I'm going to go low along my lash line. This is the perfect brush, this really small, dense blending brush is the perfect for these outer V looks. Just bring it up into the crease a little bit, creating this nice summery look. And then I don't like it when I get this like pale and then pink. Like I like to blend out the edges always. As you know, I'm an over blender, not an under blender. So you just have this like neutral eye look with a subtle pink outer V. Now I'm gonna take this eyeliner brush. This is, there's no name on it. This is a Lavish brush. I'm just taking this Lavish angled brush and I'm gonna go in with the darkest shade, which is Euphoric, the darkest shade. And how I do my eyeshadow wings is I just take the brush like this, I put it on this side here, and I flick it up towards my brow, creating a, seems like that brown's not as pigmented as I want it to be. Just flicking it up, and I just make like one line like that, and then I will drag it down and just kind of fill it in. Usually I don't make it that long, but it's okay, so I'm gonna work with it. I do try and keep these pretty neat. I will blend them out if they get, you know, too crazy and messy, but I just kind of put some shadow here, so I will be blending this out. And I'm just gonna try and get rid of that because I don't want a super long wing. Okay, so taking this smaller brush that we use the shade Petal with, and I'm just gonna blend this out. See how pretty that is blending from like a pink to a darker brown? I've been loving looks like this lately. And there we go, like a subtle smoked wing. I'm gonna do the other side. The darkest brown, the shade Euphoric, and taking my wing. Same thing, gonna just fill this in here. And the best thing about doing eyeshadow wings is that they don't have to be like exactly even because it's eyeshadow. So like you get the illusion, you blend them out, and they don't look so like planned. They look effortless and natural. So blending that out with some eyeshadow, taking that brush, that petal, whatever's left on it, and I'm just gonna blend that out. There's always one wing I like more. I'm liking this one more. I'm just gonna go back in with some more eyeshadow. I think I didn't put that much out here. And then I'm just gonna blend it out. What are you doing? All right, and if you ever make a mistake, I'm gonna take this lighter NARS powder and I'm gonna take this brush. I think the lighting has been really off on my video, but I will work on that. I'm just gonna blend out here to clean it up, you know? Just like that. Callie. Cleaned it up there. Then on my finger, I just want to have a subtle, I either want to go, you know what, I'm going to go matte. I think I'm going to take the shade Happiness, which is this really light cream brown. Taking this light cream brownish shade, I'm just going to tap this here with my finger on the inner half of my eyelid. And I think actually the shade might be a little too dark. So I think I'm gonna go in with one of the lighter shades in the palette, which is Wishful. And I think there's like a luminosity to this part. So going in with Wishful and ooh, 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 oh my. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on this side and just kind of balance that because holy cow. Wishful is white. I'm just taking my blending brush and just like doing a little, there we go. So the inner half is very bright. And I'm gonna take that same, what is this? I'm taking the E21, going back in with the shade Petal. And I'm just gonna touch up here. Make sure none of that really blended away. I don't want any side more pink than the other. And I'm also gonna take Petal and go underneath my lash line, only on my outer V. Or outer lower V. Again, you gotta be really careful with pinks because they can make you look sick. And not in the good way sick, bad way sick. All right, so I've got my little, I'm gonna take a brush. I always just like to blend, you know, make sure everything's nice and well blended out. Okay, Laura Mercier highlighter. I just like this because it's subtle. I don't want the vibrant shimmers that are in the palette. I just like a little subtle shimmery inner corner, like that. I always like to use my finger when I'm highlighting mine. Okay. One of my favorite drugstore mascaras has been the Rocket by Maybelline. I don't know why, I just feel like it does such a good job with my lashes. And then the super affordable Essence Nude Eyeliner, I'm telling you, like $3.99, and it's the best nude eyeliner I've ever used. It stays on all day. It's my everyday go-to eyeliner, and I absolutely love it. Love it. There's that. I'm gonna curl my lashes. So this is a $2.99 eyelash curler from Wet n Wild, and I'm not a fan of it. I remember I was like raving about this on my channel, like, oh, it's such a good lash curler for $2.99. One of the things, like this thing pops up and I just don't like it. It's not, oh no. I need to get a new one. So now I'm just going to apply some mascara. I use a lash growth serum. The Grande Lash serum is my favorite. I'm out of breath. Whew. Had to go get my phone. So that serum is my favorite. I have my lashes super long. I ran out, so I stopped using it for a week. And I just am really curling my lashes a lot. And I think I broke off some lashes. Plus they fall out like every 8 weeks or something like that. So I have a few long guys and some short guys. And I just am going with the flow. So I'm gonna apply some mascara. All right, guys, mascara is on and the look is complete. This is a everyday kind of like a smoked eyeshadow wing pink summer spring eye look. And I had fun using a palette that's discontinued, but I loved giving you options of other palettes and things you can do. Any tutorial of mine, I feel like you can really substitute all the shades. You can even substitute some of the brown shades for bronzers and some of the shimmers for even like highlighters. Like, it's really all about the technique. It's also application, not the product. Just learning really good application techniques, adding them to your routine. It's really just going to help you be able to use what you have. And I am trying to use my makeup that I have. I'm trying to stop buying new makeup. I like buying new makeup for my channel and because I'm interested, but it's like, it's just like, you know, just use the makeup you have. There's so much good makeup that goes unused and it makes me extremely sad. And the fact that I haven't touched this palette that is so amazing in a couple months makes me sad because it's a really good palette. And I miss like getting back in college and I would have one really good eyeshadow palette and I would just use it nonstop and just use it to complete nothing. Like I just miss those days and I really want to start using the makeup I have. And I hope you do too. So I think you could create this look really with any eyeshadow palette. But yeah, that completes this look. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell for future notifications of uploads. Be sure to comment and just let me know what you want to see next. And I'll see you in my next video.